So, one profound time that recall healing really made a difference in my life, among so many, is when I realized the connection with my Lyme's disease and my separation from clan issues. When I was 12 years old, I was taken away from my hometown, my family, and it was very traumatizing. Now, at the time, it was an adventure, per se, going to a new place. But shortly after that, reality sets in and you realize that you're away from everything you ever knew. It totally changed, and, you got to make your way now, a new way. And it was tough. I was young. I was going through puberty. It was an age that it's pretty traumatizing to have everything change like that. My parents had divorced. I was away from everything I had ever known, all my security. What was even more traumatizing about it is it happened in an instant. I never got any warning that this was going to happen. It just happened. So, I'm the kind of person who picks up and goes on and makes the best of everything. I always have a positive attitude, and life is grand and great no matter what. But what I didn't realize was that I was really stuffing that. That was pretty traumatizing. And I had stuffed it down and moved on. Made the best of everything. A lot of stuff went on during those next years. So as I got older and older, as the years passed, I began acting in ways that were congruent with the trauma that I had experienced, I guess you would say. I was protecting myself from further pain. I was trying to seek the attention of the father that I had lost. I was trying to fit into places because I had lost my family, that family unit, and even recreated my home to be almost identical to my childhood home. I began putting things into place in my home and for my children that recreated the first 12 years of my life. That wonderful feeling that I had, those first 12 years, I recreated for my children because I wanted them to feel that wonderful feeling. So then I started getting sick. Things started happening. I was getting aches and pains, and years later we find out that I, had a component of Lyme's disease. Well, through recall, realizing that I had separation from clan issues, I was able to really take a look at my trauma and begin to heal. So I'm at a place in my life where I'm really discovering how emotions have so much to do with physical illness. And of course, I've studied that for years, but I really didn't understand the depth of it until it started really playing out in my life. And I decided I need to do something about my Lyme's disease. And it's not terrible, it's not debilitating, but it is getting pretty agitating, and I'm having these traveling aches and pains, and I'm getting tired, and lots of things are going on. So I decided to use Dr. Cowden's protocol, Lyme disease protocol, which is fabulous. Well, once I started detoxing the physical aspect of what was going on with the Lyme's, of course these emotions became bubbling up. And I had to deal with them. And the very interesting thing that happened is what I had never realized that I had as feelings before started coming out very strong. Some anger and some rage, and suddenly this family that I had been taken from and had put on a pedestal, my father, who I adored, really turned into a monster in my eyes. I started seeing things a lot differently than I had seen them. And it was hard, but it needed to come up. You know, in Recall they talk about the mini-maxi schizophrenia, where you literally push something down so far that it leaves your waking consciousness and you don't even really remember it. And for me, that was what was happening, was those things were coming back into my consciousness that had happened before I had pushed them down, or I don't know what a better word for that would be, and hidden them from myself, or protected myself from them. I realize that it's a normal action that we take as human beings. It's a survival action. So as you can imagine, suddenly, with all this stuff bubbling up and all these feelings and emotions and memories bubbling up, you know, I felt very traumatized all over again. But the trauma was very short-lived. I was, you know, soon able to see everything in perspective and come to a great level of forgiveness and clarity and understanding, and realizing that all of this emotional stuff that I had so carefully hidden deep inside of myself needed to clear, and was going to be my ticket to physical freedom as well as growing spiritually. And it made a huge difference in my life. I was able to go through the phases of anger, go through the phases of sadness and deep pain, and come out on the other side really seeing my family for who they were in my life, and really loving them on a genuine, deep level with clarity. It was no false love. It was no fairy tale idea of them anymore. It was a clear love, unconditional love, and a deep appreciation for the role that they played in my life and for where I had come from. I don't have Lyme's anymore. I don't have the hidden emotions anymore. And I'm able to move on with a clear mind, body, and spirit.